Alex, what's the matter? No Danish today?
It's a holiday in Denmark. How do I know?
For years you've been bringing me Danish.
So we ain't got Danish today. I'm bringing you cheesecake. You want strudel? I'll bring you strudel.
I don't want strudel.
So eat the cheesecake.
I do not understand you. Everyone's crazy about Mindy's cheesecake and strudel. They must sell thousands of portions every day.
That's just it. Everybody's on cheesecake and strudel. Makes me feel like I'm playing favorites. Playing the favorite. Nicely, Benny. Go into the kitchen and find out exactly how many pieces of cheesecake they sold yesterday. And how many pieces of strudel.
How much cheesecake? How much strudel?
What do you want to know for?
I'm investigating for the FBI. Go! Brannigan, stop breathing on my neck.
Why, Nathan?
Adelaide, doll.
Nathan, how can you think I was Lieutenant Brannigan? We don't even wear the same perfume.
I was kind of daydreaming, I guess.
I don't dream about detectives, Nathan, even in the daytime. Do you know what I dream about? You, and our career as a businessman in normal businesses, and our career together as a normal husband and wife.
Gesundheit. Your cold doesn't seem to be getting any better.
It comes and goes, comes and goes. It's just a chronic condition.
Even if it is, it sure hangs on.
Nathan, speaking of conditions, happy anniversary. Guess what's inside?
$1,000?
I only wish it was. Go on, open it up.
Mr. Nathan Detroit, General Manager. General Manager of what?
Whatever you set your mind on, Nathan, I have faith.
Adelaide, I don't have a present for you.
Oh, I don't mind, Nathan. If you don't give me a present, it makes me feel like we're married. Nathan, darling, there isn't anything I couldn't do without, just as long as you don't start running that crap game again.
Crap game. Adelaide, didn't I promise you?
1,200 cheesecake and 1,500 strudel.
What? Yesterday, Mindy sold 1,200 cheesecake and 1,500 strudel.
More strudel than cheesecake? Are you sure?
Straight from the baker's mouth.
What is this?
Statistics. Things a businessman has to have at his fingertips.
Any news yet?
Not yet, Harry. I will leave you now.
Getting impatient, Detroit.
And what was that about?
His wife's having a baby.
But why is he asking you?
He's nervous. It's his first wife. Look, Adelaide, I'm expecting a fellow on important business.
Suddenly I get a suspicion you're trying to get rid of me.
No, doll. No, it's just business.
Supermarket?
Super. With him, business is business, and dolls make him nervous. Besides, you're late for your rehearsal. Nicely. You and Benny go take Adelaide to the hot box and cab.
It's only a few blocks.
The streets are covered with tourists, and I don't want you to get molested.
Nathan, darling, you are the most thoughtful man that ever lived.
But who's going to pay for the cab?
I am, of course.
Detroit.
Sky Matterson. Can I believe my eyes? Is it really you?
How was your percentage of life?
Not bad. And you?
Healthy at the moment.
Sit for a minute. Relax. Talk. Or maybe you're hungry?
My daddy always said there's only one time a man should be in a hurry, when the cops are coming up the stairs.
How about a coffee? Maybe a piece of cheesecake?
Thanks. I'm pleased to hear things are going well with you, Nathan. From communiques received in Las Vegas, we understand that Lieutenant Brannigan was cooking up the town.
Nah, who worries about Brannigan? How's Vegas?
Paradise for 2 weeks. I gambled in green pastures with dice that were my cousins and dolls that were agreeable with nice teeth and no last names.
You sure I can't offer you some cheesecake or strudel?
No thanks, I just ate.
How long are you going to be in town?
Only tonight. Tomorrow I fly to Havana.
Sky, don't think I'm a pest, but do yourself a favor. Eat a little bit of this cheesecake. You will thank me.
I really couldn't swallow a mouthful. How is Adelaide?
Fine.
I suppose one of these days you'll get married?
We all gotta go sometime.
But Nathan, we can fight it. The companionship of a doll is pleasant, even for a period running into months. But for a close relationship that can last through our life, no doll can take the place of aces back to back.
Still, you will admit that Mindy's cheesecake is the greatest alive.
Gladly. Furthermore, I'm quite partial to Mindy's cheesecake.
And yet, although you might disagree, many people prefer Mindy's strudel. Do you disagree?
In my understanding, that the Constitution of the United States allows everybody to free choices between cheesecake and strudel.
I would be interested to hear, offhand, would you say that Mindy sells more cheesecake or more strudel?
Going by my personal preference, I'd say more cheesecake than strudel.
For how much?
What?
For how much?
Why, Nathan, I never knew you to lay money on the line. You always take your bite off the top.
$1,000 says that yesterday Mindy sold more strudel than cheesecake.
Nathan, let me tell you a story.
Have we got a bet?
One day I left home to make my way in the world. My daddy took me to one side. Son, my dad says to me, I'm sorry I'm not able to bankroll you into a large start. But not having the necessary lettuce to get you rolling, instead, I'm going to stake to you some very valuable advice. One of these days, a guy is going to show you a brand new deck of cards on which the seal is not yet broken. This guy is going to offer you a bet that he can make the Jack of Spades jump out of the brand new deck of cards and squirt cider in your ear. But son, do not accept this bet because I'm sure as you stand there, you're going to wind up with an earful of cider. Now Nathan, do you suggest that I have been clocking Mindy's cheesecake?
Would I do such a thing?
However, if you're really looking for action, I'll bet you the same $1,000 that you cannot name the color of the tie you have on. Have we got a bet?
No bet. Polka dots. In the whole world, nobody but Nathan Detroit could blow $1,000.
Hi, Sky.
Nice to see you, Benny.
How goes it, Sky?
Healthy and you nicely?
Nicely, thanks. Nathan, Adelaide gave us a message for you. Be sure to pick her up at the hot box after the show. And don't be late.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. This is husband talk if I ever heard it. Nathan, you are trapped because Adelaide is a doll that is most difficult to unload.
I don't want to unload her. I love her. A guy without a doll. If a guy doesn't have a doll, who would holler at him? A doll is a necessity.
Like I told you, I'm not putting a knock on dolls, but they are something to have only when they come in handy, like cough drops. And the proof that I am right is that dolls are available as far as the eye can see.
Not dolls like Adelaide.
Nathan, nothing personal and no offense, but wait for age, all dolls are the same.
All dolls are the same, huh?
As far as the eye can see.
It seems to me that the one place a doll would come in handy would be a trip to Havana. This being the case, how come you ain't got one? How come you're going alone without a doll?
A matter of choice. I choose to travel alone, but if I wish to take a doll, the supply is more than Woolsworth's got in beads.
Not high-class dolls.
There's only one class, interchangeable. A doll is a doll. All dolls are any doll, you name her.
Any doll? Will you bet on that? Will you bet $1,000 that if I name a doll, you'll be able to take that same doll to Havana with you tomorrow?
You've got yourself a bet.